Good evening to all. It is our pleasure to be with Father Selvam OMI, the well-known figure and the psychologist, known nationally and internationally. Recently, he has conducted a seminar at Padarbagam to all the religious in the Diocese of Jaffna. We are fortunate enough to spend this time with Father Selvam to know his work and his ministry that he is doing as a member of the Jaffna province. So I invite Father Selvam to join us in this interview, brought you all by omijaffna.com, the official website of the province of Jaffna. Good evening, Father Selvam.
Good evening, Ratna.
Father Selvam, when did you first become interested in the field of psychology?
Initially, my interest was in media communication, and I was very happy doing radio work, writing the newspapers, audio visuals, and then I wanted to do more on media and went to specialize on telecommunications and more specifically on television. At that time, my interest also started in psychology, and I did a course in psychology, but then that was not my main focus at that time. But later, things developed in 1983, the famous riots that took place displaced me from out of my country almost, and that's the time I was in a kind of an exile, not imposed by the government, but imposed by ourselves for safety's sake and security's sake. That time I decided to go deeper into psychology, and then I started working and got very interested in counseling psychology. So I would say 1983-84 was my turning point as such.
Why have you selected psychology as your ministry?
The deeper I went into counseling psychology, and as I was in a CPE program known as Clinical Pastoral Education, that helped me personally. I found enough freedom going through that program, a wee bit of enough freedom. And then I said, yes, this must be excellent to anybody and everybody who wants to have it. So I became very interested in counseling psychology and really went deeper and deeper into that. So it is basically to get the service of people. Lay people, priests, religious, anyone for that matter.
How do you view, Father Selvam, your role as psychologist in terms of counseling service in light of a Catholic priest and oblate religious?
As I did several courses while doing the work, I became a trainer, then I became a supervisor. So I think I touched on every field in counseling psychology, that is doing personal counseling, doing group work, animating group therapy, training counselors, supervising counselors. So the whole gamut of work, and I cannot but forget the 14 years I was teaching and training at the Institute of S.M.N in Kent, UK, which gave a wider audience. At any given time at S.M.N there would be about 28 to 32 nationalities all over the world, English-speaking countries, and that deepened my field, that deepened my interest, and also extended my service cross-culturally. So I got also interested in cross-cultural counseling in that sense.
So Father, what is your biggest concern about doing this ministry?
Counseling sometimes is misunderstood, but I didn't see it as a misunderstanding from the people whom I met. Counseling is not for mental patients alone. For all of us, every human person can make use of counseling, what we call growth counseling, so that we can internally free ourselves from our internal slavery. And when I started meeting a priests and religious, and sometimes even bishops, I found there's a great need in the church, because men and women who are serving others, and if they are not free themselves, they make others unfree, unfortunately. So it is a great need in the church. It is not just touch and run somewhere to go deeper. And I must say at this point in time that when I went deeper into counseling, I discovered spirituality. I did not discover spirituality in my seminary days, but when I went deeper into counseling, the deeper you touch the unconscious, I started getting deeper into deep spirituality. So today my interest is bringing both together, counseling, psychology and deep spirituality. So practically all my workshops, my retreats, my seminars, they all will take a psycho-spiritual perspective. And that comes very beautifully together in a human person, and it has to come. I don't think today any spiritual author in the right sense of the word will not make some reference to counseling psychology, whether it is Thomas Merton or Henry Nouwen or Matthew Fox or William Barry, Henry, who are the other people, Timothy Radcliffe. All these people, they will always have some reference because it is a need. And the interesting part is, recently, a few years ago, I did Vipassana meditation. Even the Vipassana founder says at a certain point, we can also make use of counseling psychology if that's a block to meditation.
Apart from this field of psychology, counseling, what are the other areas you are concentrating on?
I have already mentioned that. I studied some literature in Tamil in my initial stage. Then I did communication studies. Then I did psychology. On my own I went into spirituality. Now I find that I can bring all four together very beautifully into my ministry, into my writings, or into my seminars or workshops. Because there's so much of richness in all that. But my main focus right now, I can say my vision for the future, that's the vision that guides my ministry. Whatever I do, it is to pave the way for a global, universal spirituality that will transcend institutional religions. Now if you take Sri Lanka for example, the ethnic war is not over, but then another war has already started with the Muslims. When that is over, the Christians. When that is over, Hindus. So it will go on. So the way forward for the whole world is contemplative spirituality, mystical spirituality, which will bring everybody together. So we can transcend the organized religion. So that's my vision, that's my passion, and that's where I work. Whatever I do, seminar, workshop, retreat, that's where my message is.
Being a senior member in the province, what would be your message to the other oblates?
I'm sad. When I look at my province, I am sad that we are not caught on to this kind of thinking and this kind of feel. We are still very backwards, as Cardinal said, Archbishop Milan. The church is 200 years behind time. I'll say my province is also 200 years behind time, or even worse. So we talk so much about new things, but when it comes to practice, we are not putting them on. Like formation houses, a lot of changes have to take place. There must be a purpose, there must be a goal, there must be a vision for this province to go forward, not just recruit people and go put them through the seminary and ordain them and find some place to work. That's the old way of doing it. Okay, it's past. Is there a passion? To have a passion, there must be a vision. And with that, our training must take place, our formation must take place, all our work must focus towards that. I think we have the men to do that. We have the men. We have the resources. It's a question of somebody put things together and give the interest. Those of them who are not interested, there are so many other congregations for them to go.
Father Selvam, thank you so much for taking time to spend with us to have this interview. So we are very happy to be with you at this time. Hope you will continue to support with your writing and with other talents which you have, to publish them in our website, imjfna.com. Thank you so much.
Sure, this will not be the last that I appear on this website.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.